Hello everybody, my name is Jordan the Wolf, and I'm proud to be back for the 13th installment of What If Krillin Got the Buff Form. I'm proud to be back, everybody. I know it's been a bit of a wait. I do apologize for that, college and all. That's what you got to do when you're in university. It takes a bit of time. Anyways, I want to go a bit on the recap mode real quick before we enter the next saga, as is the Goku Black arc. We made it a long way, folks. All the way starting from the time skip right before the Raditz saga, all the way to Goku Black right now. I'm proud to say, I want to thank every single one of you who's been watching up until this point, because without any of you guys, I would not have had the motivation to finally fulfill this what if I had written a long time ago, all those years ago. Anyways, the humans have been training under the Supreme Kai. Piccolo's on the cusp of a new transformation. We've been seeing multiple hints upon that for the last prior arcs. And Krillin is undergoing the training of a certain transformation. I believe you all know a certain technique that Goku learns in the main saga, although we're not at that point just yet. If you want to know more about that, please go watch the prior parts. They will be linked, and if not, they'll be in a playlist on my channel, with the What If's name itself. Anyways, enough with the preamble, enough with my rambling. Let's get started, everybody. We're entering part 13. The Goku Black saga. And the initial terms of this saga pretty much start the same way as they do in the original canon. I don't see a need to change anything in particular, except who our time traveler is. As I have a confession to make, I wish I had originally stayed with Future Trunks, but I kind of dug my own grave, so we're going with Future Gohan. He returns in the time machine, just like he does in our scenario back in the Cell saga. So, Future Gohan arrives, still with both arms, mind you, scarred up in the face, as he would still charge at Goku, causing a bit of confusion amongst everybody at the situation, wondering, firstly, how did Future Gohan come back and why is he attacking Goku? And with enough elaboration after flames were quelled, he'd begin to explain what exactly had happened. That an evil Goku in his timeline began to attack them. This surely brought confusion amongst everybody, as in the fact as he came back and told the original story that his father was dead. He died of a heart virus. How could he possibly be attacking? And that is when a dark and mysterious portal began to rip a torrent in the sky, as out emerged Goku Black. And if you're wondering why Goku Black, well, there wasn't really any justification to change it from any other particular character. Krillin isn't exactly notable enough to replace Goku. Vegeta hasn't exactly prospered enough to justify it either, nor has the other characters like, say, 18 or Piccolo. So, the original Goku Black. However, in this scenario right here, Goku does not need to go to Super Saiyan 2 to take on Black, as he is far above where he was in the original timeline. At the very most, it would just be the regular Super Saiyan form that he needs to contend with Goku Black. And before he stops him, as we know in the original canon, he does get ripped back into his timeline. So off he goes. There goes Goku Black. And eventually, Krillin and Piccolo would arrive, as just like in the anime, I want to have a little bit of fun that they were actually working on the farm, picking up the lettuce and cabbages from Goku's fields. Hey, it was some nice training, it was some hand precision, as Piccolo described it in the manga, well, I mean anime, as he was driving his hands into the dirt. However, now that we got the recap out of the way as they began to explain what's going on, then another thing occurred. We'd still have Bulma making some new fuel for the time machine, obviously, and with schematics brought from the original future Bulma, it'll be no problem for our present Bulma to replicate and put that underway. But in the meanwhile, there are some things that are not going to change from the original canon just as the investigation goes on, heading to Universe 10 and all that. I'm not really going to be able to change any of that, nor do I want to in particular. So I'm mostly going to breeze over certain sections, to be quite honest, so I can focus on new avenues and explore different things that are going to be important going forward for our scenario in particular. However, if you want to know what's going on, you could always refer to the original manga or canon, what I may gloss over in the situation. Except this section, I want to go over Future Gohan meeting Present Gohan, as just like how Trunks walked up to present Gohan's job at the university, Future Gohan does the same, adorned in his torn up orange gi, as he just stands outside. And then once Gohan sees them, they're just like staring at each other in a mirror, what they could have had in another life. As Gohan can immediately tell who this is. It literally looks like a spitting image of him. Well, almost. Scarred up face and a different cut. But nonetheless, it is still Gohan. As they begin to catch up and reminisce, eating ice cream just like how future Trunks and Gohan did in the original canon, sitting on the bench. And they begin to talk about their lives. While our present Gohan certainly has kept up with his training, at least more than our original canon, it isn't as if he dedicated his entire life to it, as he would have found a balance with his studies and martial arts, at least to a better degree. And then once brought the Gohans home, future Gohan could see the life that he could never have, as Videl, Mr. Satan, and staring at a little baby girl, Pan. Future Gohan picks her up and just stares at the child for a moment, just pondering. This is the life he could have had if things had gone differently. In this scenario, instead of future Trunks taking on Vegeta, the lesson that will be imparted about self-reliance will be put upon future Gohan, as he will be taking on his present counterpart and his father. As they begin to spar, Goku would start off in Super Saiyan, as future Gohan goes in Super Saiyan as well. They go by transformation, at least initially. And as they clash in Super Saiyan 2, they begin to collide in the air. Goku could just see the form that future Gohan is trying to impart with his martial arts, and thinking about how far he has plateaued at this period. He is certainly gotten stronger than the last time they have seen each other, but he has plateaued in a way. He has seen some new skill, but it almost seems like he just does what he can to survive at this rate. All the while, future Gohan begins to talk about the stories he's had, the fights he's had ever since, including the fight with Deborah and the death of Supreme Kai and Kibito Kai, helping him unlock Super Saiyan 2 as they would fight and defeat the Demon King, preventing the awakening of Majin Buu. But now seeing the threat he's dealing with currently, and the fact that Goku Black and Zamasu, he was woefully unprepared, and he had no one else to rely on, just himself or a few human resistant fighters remained. Then Goku would emerge out as a Super Saiyan God, as he would strike his son in the stomach directly, dropping him to his knees as he began to cough, and then look up, seeing the transformation as he returned to base, thinking about this transformation, thinking, how can he get his hands on this, as Goku began to explain the form, and he would implore Goku to help him fight Black. Certainly with this form, he can help him defeat Goku Black and Zamasu. Goku would go off to go meet Zeno, same thing, there's Zenobut and all that. I'm going to gloss over that. However, I'm not going to gloss over them entering the future for the first time around, as the three Saiyans would go to the original location as they do, except without Trunks, it being Gohan in this situation, as they would take on Goku Black. However, he had unlocked Super Saiyan Rose. As they began to collide, Goku would take him on as Super Saiyan Blue. However, he refuses to use Kaioken. He knows he can probably be able to overpower the Saiyan if he can do it. However, he's afraid, since he's quickly adapting and learning using the body, and the fact he was able to trigger transformation. He was afraid if he had proclaimed Kaioken, he was afraid Goku Black would be able to figure out how to use the technique and be able to utilize it. He knows that his body would be conditioned enough, regardless if Zamasu's mind may not be, the body itself would be able to withstand any number of Kaioken to a degree, and would be surely devastating. So for now, he puts it in his back pocket as they'd collide. The Rose figure would push him and slam him into a building. And soon, our heroes would return to the present, escaping in the future time machine. Events here would be kind of more or less the same. I'm not really sure how is this really going to affect Gowasu dying or Goku Black at the cabin. Universe 10, Zamasu would still get Hakkai'd by Beerus. There's nothing much I can change in this part. They had all touched base at Capsule Corp, Bulma's house, as just like Trunks was able to meet the past fighters and all, he'd be able to have interactions with the others, including Krillin here. As I hinted about a while back in the Cell Saga part of my scenario, that future Gohan had somewhat of a relation with future Krillin, as I wanted to write him in a little bit, living a bit longer than he did in the original canon, looking over future Gohan before succumbing to the androids as well. So it'd be pretty perplexing to see him, seeing a much older Krillin looking almost reminiscent of his Krillin. And then the fact he's married to Android 18 of all people, kind of shocking him. Not to mentioning the fact that he's a world champion in this world, which is oddly weird to him, but he finds kind of nice. Anyway, second time's the charm, as our three Saiyans once again run to the past once more. However, it will be somewhat the same way, including Goku getting stabbed through the chest, including the weird segment with Zamasu also getting stabbed. They're all just taunting him. He gets enraged as they begin the battle. Although in this situation, he's not going to be as severely hurt. It is still a grievous wound, mind you, but he's much more strong, and he'll be able to sustain himself much longer. And now the introduction of Gohan Super Saiyan Rage as opposed to Trunks. As if it appeared in the main story, and we might as well utilize it, as it's another half-breed Super Saiyan who is notorious for his rage, so I mean, it's perfect. As future Gohan does battle in his new transformation against Goku Black and Zamasu, buying enough time for Goku and Vegeta, amongst others, to head back to the past once more, as he would absolutely be laying his freaking hands on Goku Black, absolutely unleashing his bridled fury. Just all these years of pent-up frustration just absolutely clubbing him across the face, one fist after another, smashing him into the ground. However, he'd be kicked back by the Rose Saiyan, as Zamasu would also slide in and begin to attack him. All the while, our future protagonists have successfully returned to the past. They weren't sure how long Gohan could hold off Goku Black and Zamasu, so they needed to act fast. However, they need a new line of attack. They need a new way to take him on, for this was not working at the moment. Because even if they did take out Goku Black, the problem was Zamasu would always be around. He's immortal, but that's when it clicked. They can't kill him necessarily, but they can't seal him away, i.e. the evil containment wave, Mafuba. And where better to learn Mafuba than going to the Grand Master himself, Master Roshi. And who will be there to help Goku learn it even faster? Why, of course, his best friend since childhood, our protagonist of this situation, Krillin. So, they head to Kame House, as Goku begins to learn the Mafuba, just in case. However, Krillin also interjects that he can also come with them to the future to help seal him, just in case they're busy fighting him. He could at least get the preparation for the sealing tag and the jar into place. And I know it's kind of a tight squeeze already as is with 3 Saiyans, but I also remember the anime, an adult Mai was able to stand up in the machine alongside them as they're returning to the past. So I mean, Krillin's a bit smaller, and if anything, it's quite embarrassing for our protagonist, but, well, he could always lay on the ground, and they just stick their feet over him, just in case, as he holds the sealing tag and the rice jar. So aka, they're not going to forget the tag this time. And if anything, he knows how to draw up a new tag just in case. After all, he was learning under Roshi a bit longer than even Goku, because as Goku went off to train with Whis and all them, he always came back occasionally to learn from the fundamentals he had learned from the beginning. So, our 4 heroes head off to the future. And if you're wondering what our protagonists are doing back on Earth in the present, well, Piccolo, Tien Shinhan, Yamcha have all been invited, at least by recommendation and a little bit of bribery with food, to Whis' planet. Not for long, mind you, but just enough to cultivate Piccolo's new form. Also under the supervision of the Supreme Kai. Mind you, we'll be coming back to that shortly. Anyways, we're off to the future. And just as expected, Gohan is tired, but doing battle with Goku Black. There's been some intermission in the meanwhile, as there's been another fight going on now, after the initial one. Coming back, charging a Super Saiyan 2, however aided by a newly healed Goku and Vegeta. All the while, they are going to focus on Goku Black. They told him, however, go help Krillin take on Zamasu, or at least buy time taking on Zamasu as they split their forces in the meanwhile. As Krillin, in the sides, inside of the time machine, jumps out and hides behind the machine as he begins to get the rice cooker ready. He starts doing the preparations, has the tag in hand, mind you, not forgetting, just like Goku in the original canon, as he sets it on the ready. So, now they have no fear whatsoever being able to take out Goku Black and Zamasu. And Vegeta was absolutely loving putting his hands on Goku Black. However, just like in the original, Goku Black did make clones, and that's going to be an issue. That being said, a much stronger Goku and Vegeta are going to be able to contend here. As if the canon versions could contend, a Goku with extra levels of Kaioken alongside a stronger Vegeta who's been forced to keep up, or at least he's relative to his canon, if not a little stronger, they are more than able to handle these Goku Blacks. And in fact, would be able to put him down for good. As a Rose Kamehameha, as you can just imagine the imagery like rose petals and pink aura, as he blasts towards the two Saiyans, would be met by the combined efforts of a Kaioken times 20 Kamehameha and a final flash as they engulf the Rose Super Saiyan, obliterating him. All the while, Trunks being able to learn a bit from the Mafuba because they showed him in the canon. I know he saw a video with freaking Piccolo on an iPhone. But anyways, future Trunks would have Zamasu lined up just perfectly enough for Krillin, and then a Goku coming in to help to secure him for sure with a double Mafuba, as they would seal away Zamasu. And just before he could try to wrangle himself out of the rice container, the seal would be slapped on, containing him. And that ends prematurely the Goku Black saga. I do apologize for those who are big Merge Zamasu fans. I do apologize for that. But this just makes sense. Stronger Saiyans, plus better knowledge, and those around you of more people knowing the Mafuba than just one. It'd kind of be quite a big deal. It'd be able to help us finish quite quicker. So, no infinite Zamasu, no deleting this timeline, no nothing of that. None of that. However, in this situation now, they'll be able to have an individual of Krillin and Goku who know instant transmission. They can help him try to find New Namek. And they'll be able to point him in the direction of New Namek. And in fact, with Krillin's Kai Kai, he'll literally take him to New Namek. And if there's any survivors, they'll be able to restore the Earth just the way it was, and then teleport himself back before our heroes return themselves to the present. However, if he ever needs help again, he has his own power now. But if he does truly need help, he can always come back, and they'll be able to show him a thing or two. And in fact, he might just be returning soon. We'll touch upon that next time on the next part. That being said, I do want to touch base a little bit going back to the present, as the culmination of a new transformation has emerged, as our three heroes, Goku, Vegeta, and Krillin, sorry for that stumble, folks, would go to the planet of the gods under Beerus and Whis, and they'd be able to spar with a newly whipped into shape Piccolo, as they'd be able to see and bear witness to his new transformation, Orange Piccolo. Why did I choose to reveal it here now? I've kind of already felt he already had the access to the form for quite a minute. But I kind of felt keep delaying it would kind of kill the point of it. So he'd be able to take on quite a number of our foes right here. And we'll end this part off as Orange Piccolo would be colliding with a times 100 Kaioken Krillin as they'd collide in the air, starting to spar and just zip around rapidly in the air, smashing against each other. And that's where we'd end our part for now. But that being said, we're going to be coming back sooner or later with the next installment being the Tournament of Power. And oh lord, I can't wait to get to that one. Anyways, folks, that being said, that has been Jordan the Wolf signing out. Bye, everyone. Love you.